While they were eating, Jesus took bread. He broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Then he took the cup. He gave thanks and handed it to them. All of them drank from it. "This is my blood poured out to forgive the sins of many," he said. Then they sang a hymn and went to the Mount of Olives. Jesus and his disciples went to Gethsemane. Jesus said, "Sit here while I pray." He took Peter, James, and John along with him. He got down on his knees and prayed, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup away from me, but do what you want, not what I want." An angel from heaven appeared to Jesus and gave him strength. He got up from prayer and went back to the disciples. He found them sleeping. "Why are you sleeping?" he asked. "Get up. Pray that you won't fall into sin when you are tempted." Once more Jesus went away and prayed the same thing, then came back. Again he found them sleeping, so he left them. For the third time he prayed. He returned to the disciples and said, "Are you still sleeping? Look, the hour is near. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to sinners. Get up, let us go. Here comes the one who's handing me over." Jesus had finished praying. He and his disciples went to a grove of olive trees. Judas knew the place. Jesus had often been in that place, so Judas came guiding a group of soldiers. They were carrying torches and weapons. Jesus asked them, "Who is it that you want?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "I am he," Jesus said. Judas went to Jesus. He said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and he kissed him. Jesus asked him, "Judas, are you handing over the Son of Man with a kiss?" Peter had a sword and he pulled it out. He cut off the servant's right ear. Jesus commanded Peter, "Put your sword away." And he touched the man's ear and healed him. Then the soldiers arrested Jesus. They tied him up. All the disciples left and ran away. Early in the morning, the priests, the elders, and the whole Sanhedrin made a decision. They tied Jesus up. Then they handed him over to Pilate. "Are you the king of the Jews?" asked Pilate. "Yes, it is just as you say," Jesus replied. It was the practice of the Passover feast to let one prisoner go free. The people could choose the one they wanted. Pilate asked, "Which one do you want me to set free, Barabbas or Jesus?" "Barabbas," they answered. "What should I do with Jesus?" Pilate asked. They all answered, "Crucify him." "Why? What has he done wrong?" But they shouted even louder, "Crucify him!" Pilate saw that he wasn't getting anywhere, so he took water and washed his hands in front of the crowd. "I am not guilty of this man's death." Pilate let Barabbas go free, but he had Jesus whipped. And he handed him over to be nailed to a cross. Jesus had to carry his cross to a place called the Skull. There the soldiers nailed him to the cross. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they are doing." A written sign above him read, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." 2 robbers were crucified with him. One was on his right and one on his left. For 3 hours the land was dark. Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you deserted me?" After Jesus cried out again, he bowed his head and died. They took Jesus down from the cross and they placed him in a tomb. They rolled a big stone in front of the tomb. Pilate put a seal on the stone and placed some guards on duty. It was dawn on the first day of the week. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. They saw that the stone had been rolled away. They entered the tomb. As they did, they saw an angel dressed in a white robe. The angel said to the woman, "Do not be afraid. I know you are looking for Jesus. He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Go, tell his disciples." So the women hurried away from the tomb. They were afraid, but they were filled with joy. They ran to tell the disciples.
The end.